The Biden campaign has a new nickname for Donald Trump as he lags behind in fundraising. They are calling him Broke Don. David Avella joins me now. David, good to see you. All right, what do you make of the Biden campaign resorting to name-calling?
President Biden seems to have a memory lapse that he said he was going to bring civility back to the national discussion, that he was going to restore a civil discussion, was the first thought. Let me also add, though, that let's keep in mind that Hillary Clinton outspent Donald Trump by double, and yet he still won. And it was very competitive in 2020. So certainly you have to have enough money to get your message out, but you don't have to have the most money, which really goes to what this campaign comes down to. If you're the Trump campaign, the messaging is simple. The border is in chaos. You're paying more for everyday items under Joe Biden than when I was in office. And you reelect me, and we're going to have the job growth, and we're going to have the income increases that we had during my first term. That will get a lot of folks saying, I want Donald Trump back in office.
Talking of which, Trump apparently has formed a joint fundraising committee with the RNC. I guess the big question here, David, is can he catch up to Biden in donations?
He can. Let's keep in mind that we're now learning that his Truth Social may go public, which would create for him $3.5 billion. He would have every dollar he wants to put in a presidential campaign if that transaction occurs. Money will not be the biggest issue. I mean, you think about in general elections for president, earned media and the news coverage has as much impact on the TV ads. I mean, I'm sure, Ashley, you are looking forward to lots of television ads on your screen this year.
Yes.
One more negative ad, right? But if there's one less one, that doesn't have as much impact as many would believe. Donald Trump's going to have the money he needs to win this election. Trust me.
All right. Well, I want to move on to this topic. MSNBC host Jen Psaki says that third-party candidates are one of the biggest threats to Joe Biden's re-election campaign. Listen to this.
These third-party candidates are a huge, huge, huge problem, and there's a number of them. If you look at RFK Jr., it's the name recognition issue, as Tom was just talking about. And there are still states in this country, obviously, I mean, Georgia is one of them, I will name, where the Kennedy name is beloved. So this is something, there is an aggressive effort that the campaign has been working with the Democratic National Committee on to run on this, but it needs to be broad. People need to be shouting it from the rooftops, because this is one of the biggest threats to Joe Biden being reelected, is these third-party candidates.
Well, the question, I guess, David, is she right? Is RFK Jr. a problem?
President Biden's low approval rating is far worse factor for him in getting reelected than a third-party candidate. And I'll give you a specific example. You think about his recent decisions on EVs in Michigan. And in essence, what he's saying to Michigan auto workers is, I'm looking to put you out of work. That will cause him a problem in Michigan. It is the policies that he pursued that will be far bigger. All that said, it is interesting that the Democratic Party, which continues to shout at us the importance of democracy and of elections, are the very ones that when it comes to threatening their potential to be in charge, they all of a sudden want to take candidates off the ballot. I can't think of a more undemocratic move than what the Dems are trying to do to take candidates off the ballot.
Exactly. All right, David, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Always appreciate your insight.